Traction's trade reporting process. Find out the answers to our most frequently asked questions. This video covers some of the main questions we get asked about Traction's trade reporting process. You can jump to the question that interests you most or watch the whole way through. Firstly, how does Traction obtain data from clients? Traction has various methods of collecting data for clients. Our preferred way is to directly connect to a client's database, usually through an API connection, which can automatically fetch data on a daily basis. Through the API, Traction will run daily snapshots to gather and store the data in tables within our database and perform staleness checks and diagnostics to ensure that the data transfer was completed correctly. Another common method for collecting trade and transaction data is CSV file submission from our clients. Clients can upload these files through a secure connection into their ShareFile folder so Traction can perform the necessary transformations and enrichments. This enables the data to be submitted to the required trade repository or approved reporting mechanism. What steps does Traction take to process the data? The processing workflow looks slightly different depending on the individual client. We have some clients where we get all their data from one source, such as a linked server or their uploaded CSV files. In these cases, we can process the data as soon as it is available. After we are happy with the processed files, we upload them to the trade repository, using an automated and encrypted method that scans the download confirmation files for any error messages. At the end of the day, we ensure that all of the files used have been provided back to our client for review or reconciliation. What happens if we find errors in your submission? If we do find an error in the submitted files, we will endeavor to fix this on our end. If there is an issue with the underlying data, we will reach out to our client to request updated files and then resubmit newly processed files. Traction will also run a comparison of a client's previous reporting submissions to make sure that the volume has not increased or decreased outside of predefined parameters. If the transaction volume does fall outside of our defined parameters, we contact our client to make sure that the data is correct and accurately reflects their database. What files do Traction's clients receive back on a daily basis? Traction generates handback files for each day of reporting and places these in our client's handback folder, which is within their ShareFile. This directory houses all the data that is used in the reporting process. Clients should make sure that the necessary people have access so they can perform any checks needed on their reporting. Traction provides detailed handback file guides for each reporting regime to assist you with this process. How can Traction's clients conduct a reconciliation on their reporting? Clients should perform regular reconciliations on the data that has been sent to the trade repository or approved reporting mechanism. To do this, they can use the handback files. The best starting point is making sure that the total number of trades and positions reported is correct by comparing the raw data to the files uploaded to the trade repository against the files that you receive back from Traction. This will help to make sure that Traction has full access to all servers and platforms that you are using to store reportable data. This check can be performed at first instance by counting the total number of rows in the individual files. On a daily basis, Traction will also compare the number of open positions on an asset class basis against what is in our database to ensure that the numbers align. It is important for clients to double-check all the numbers carefully, as Traction can only report and reconcile the transactions you provided us or that we have access to through our API or integration. Traction, trade reporting simplified.